Okay. Hey guys, welcome. Let me just pop on over to another window, see if I can hear sound and pop in the chat for our live. Give me 1 second. And let me know in the chat if you can hear me. How's the sound? All the good stuff. And happy new moon in Sagittarius. How you guys feeling? It is coming up here on Friday. Whew. And this Mars and Sag energy has got me feeling like go time for real. Hey, RCP Beauty, you might be. You might be the only one, hun, at least for now. Good stuff. Hang on. And this, let me mute that. Hey, Sierra. Let me close out this window. Okay, I can hear you loud and clear from Arizona. Happy new moon. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, now let me go get the payment information for you then. Okay, here we go. All right. But I have no idea how busy or not busy people are, if people want to be here, if they don't. I know I am booked. Like if you wanted time on my calendar, it's really hard to get right now. So I thought I would pop in and do live mini readings. We're gonna do chart and channel messages for you guys today rather than tarot. And so I just wanted to make myself available for people who either could not wait or who are just needing some guidance before we close the year since my calendar is booked. So if you want to jump in, you can. Let me just make sure I make a note that says with channeled messages. There we go. Is there another way for payment other than Venmo PayPal? No, there's not. I'm so sorry, Sierra. I only take those two. There we go. Yeah, I don't have Zelle or Cash App or any of those others set up for my business, just those two. So, yeah, sorry, Sierra. But yeah, so if you have like, okay, no worries. Let me hop out and create an account. Be right back. I'll be right here, baby. I'll be right here. Happy Sagittarius moon. And happy holidays, of course. Gotcha. RCP is on the list. So I have a question for you guys. My radiator, because I live in a very old building, my radiator can be super loud when it comes on. Can you guys hear like the hissing in the background from my radiator? You'll have to let me know. I'm really curious if it's loud, if my background is loud. Copy that link. I'm going to put this over on the main channel as well, just in case people want to pop over and say, hey. Okay, thank you, RCP Beauty. I appreciate you letting me know. You were first up, first on the list, first paid, first read. So whenever you're ready, drop your birth details and your question, and I'll hook you up, sis. So great to see you. Hope you're having a good end of the year. I haven't even looked at your question yet, but when I saw your birth details come through, I see a lot of changes for you around work already. Let me close out of that window and come back over here. Okay. I see a lot of work changes around you and specifically like opportunities, RCP Beauty. Um, I don't know what you have going on work wise. We're going to look in a minute and I'll check out your question, but I'm seeing a lot of work changes and opportunities for you. Let me come back here and see what your question was. Okay, so here we go. Charlotte, North Carolina. And CP Beauty 517, 1982, 431. Okay, cool. Awesome. I appreciate all of your insight throughout this year. Your mini readings have been so helpful. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you for letting me know. I try to, when I know I'm going to be booked out for a while, I do try to come in and read for you guys because it can really, I don't want to leave you guys who really need it waiting too long. And I know some of you guys just prefer the mini reading anyway. So thanks for letting me know. I'm in the middle of your manifestation course. Woohoo! I love that. And I'm so intrigued. Astrology is truly fascinating, right? My question for today's reading is what good news can I look forward to in 2026? When can I expect beautiful blessings to be delivered to me this coming year? Well, baby, you are already in a season of big blessings. I know you've had a tumultuous sort of transitional period with the Scorpio second house. Changing the way you make money has been a significant piece of the journey, and finding ways to make money that facilitate like a pathway or a route to wealth for you with Jupiter retrograde in the 10th house and preparing to move into the second sign of your 10th house, which is Leo. I'm seeing for you, the closer we get to July of 2026, it's just going to ramp up as soon as Jupiter gets out of retrograde in February. The closer we get to July, so I'm talking about March, April, May, June, you're really going to start to see more opportunities come your way. The challenge that I'm seeing for you as these opportunities come your way initially is I see they come with a lot of recognition, but not necessarily with the money, with the coins. I see you're going to have to do some self advocacy to ensure that the coins you need are there. You're going to have to really focus in on getting the contracts to be the money that you need them to be. And I see you're working on some of this now with Uranus transiting through the eighth, like just starting to think more strategically and higher level about the way you structure contracts and agreements with people in your business so that what you are making in terms of the money matches, what you're putting in terms of effort, time, resources on your own, this sort of thing. So this is going to be a good thing. I do see this really serving you long term, but the visibility looks like it comes first. The money comes a little more, money, like real money, comes later. For now, the structure of what you're setting up is really about two things. One, it's a little bit humbling. I know some of this is about the quote unquote paying your dues sort of period. And I know you've already paid your dues, you've paid them a lot, but you're stepping into a higher level of visibility with people who've never seen you before, don't know what you do. And so, because of this, these people who've never heard of you before, but who have access to a significantly wider range of clientele and opportunities for you, they're not gonna, they're gonna want to know that you can play ball. And they may not pay you the big coins or give you the big jobs at first, but then as soon as you start to lay foundation with these people, um, as you are starting to be strategic about your bottom line, they're going to start, you're taking yourself seriously, more seriously financially. They're going to be taking you more seriously as well. They're going to know that you're not just throwing out numbers to throw out numbers and lowballing yourself, because I'm psychically seeing that's been a problem here a little bit. Like just not really paying enough attention to the numbers, overcharging, undercharging, not really like landing in that sweet spot for yourself that is very clear. Like, I'm not out here trying to milk you for everything you've got, but simultaneously, I am very serious about what I do because I know what it costs for me to stay in business. So I need, this is my minimum. And then here's how I charge for everything above the minimum. You tell me what you want. I'm seeing you really step into your sovereignty as Jupiter lands in the sign of the king as a businesswoman. And so this is really going to help other people take you more seriously as well. And I love to see this for you. It's going to be a very potent kickoff to the new year as Mars comes into contact with Pluto. We're all going to be in this energy of feeling like, wow, I am, it's like go time. And we're already feeling that with Mars and Sag, Mars and Capricorn, this sort of sense of it's my time to build. As we get more into 2026, I just want to see. Yeah, so the first month right out of the gate, January, and then the second month, February, I do see a lot, you doing a lot of like online networking, making contacts, setting up contracts, reaching out for opportunities, putting your name out there, and really being bold about it. And the bolder you are about it, by the time Jupiter goes direct, and that'll be in February, you're going to start to see the legwork and foundation you laid in January. Again, this is really going to come from your internal drive and impetus. What up, Raven? I love to see it. This, like, you're gonna start to see that have returns, especially as we get to like wedding season, as we get to graduation season, Mother's Day, these sorts of holidays where people are really looking for what you have to offer. You're really going to see the foundation you lay, even if it's just like new marketing sort of stuff on social media in the start of the year, where you're just like, okay, let me showcase some stuff on social media using my friends' faces as palette or whatever. You're going to start to see that really pay off as bookings start to roll in post the February timeframe. So I want you to be really encouraged financially, but I also want to really encourage you to get focused financially as well. Don't just, be thinking generally. Like, I really want you to map out your numbers. What is it costing me to run this business so that it's a business that's generating profit, not just an expensive hobby? Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing here. Let me just see what else RCP has to go. Oh my God, yay. Modeling portfolio just got a revamp. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, there's some online networking. I forget you did modeling. You don't actually do, you're not at MUA. There's some work that I'm seeing you lay out in the start of the year, some networking, some just putting yourself out there. That's really going to serve you longer term. Okay. I see Sierra jumped on the list. Hey, Sierra, I got you. You are next. If you want to get on the list, you can. It's open. The way to do that is in the pin comment above. You'd be right after Sierra. I would love to read for you if you have questions. But yeah, it looks really good. The first few months of the year look like you're going to be very, very busy. So, whatever your agent tells you to do to like get yourself out there, whatever events you get invited to do, go do them. Because I do see that this is you're going to be able to really call in some greater visibility. And I get it as a reminder of the opening message. Um, you're gonna feel like you're paying dues all over again, but it's temporary because you just reached like an upper echelon of people who have never seen you before. Okay, so just stay humble, be polite, be kind, pay the dues, whatever that looks like. Speak to your agent or your manager about that. Um, because this is actually going to take you to the next place. One thing that I will say that I want you to look out for is as we get into the tail end of next year, the back half of 2026 is going to be very retrograde heavy, and you're going to start to wonder, why am I not booking new work? Your best money in the back half of 2026, given the setup of your chart financially, is going to come from clients you've already worked with. So, not new business, not new work. It's people that you have followed up with, you're checking in with, you built a relationship with on social media, you've socialized and networked with them offline. Because you're going to be so sociable and easy to work with in 2026, you're going to be that first person they call in the back half of the year. Like, we can get Sierra to do this. She'll come in, no problem, and you'll just be ready to work. Expect the back half of the year to be a little hectic, a little manic for the collective. You stay calm, cool, and collected. Stay networking, keep your face and your name out there. You're going to find that you're booking work from existing and past clients, okay? That's how I want you to run next year. Okay, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I really appreciate it, RCP. It's always good to see you. Can't wait to hear about your successes. Let me know how that resonates for you. Okay, so Sierra asks me, um, let's see. Yeah, you got it, RCP. Hey, Kylie, it's always good to see you. Always good to see you. Hey, Raven. It's Raven. I'm on my tablet. I love it. It's so nice to connect with you, Raven. Okay, let me see what Sierra had to say. And here she is. Okay, so 8/3, 1994, 1:43 a.m. Broadening horizons is what I keep hearing for you. Like, I'm seeing a lot of vistas and open sky and like rebooting your life. That's the first thing I'm seeing for you. I haven't even looked at your chart or your transits yet. I'm seeing you have like a clean slate in front of you to do some very, very new things, Sierra. But let me look at your question and your transits and your chart and see what direction this is coming in from. Am I on the right career path with the North Node making its way to my midheaven? Can you help me know what I may expect? Thank you. You got it. Um, you are, and you're not wrong in starting to question it. I'm going to be honest with you. Um, I think some of the reason why you're questioning it, if you haven't made a change in the last, since 2020 career wise, and there's something coming. And I feel like you probably have, or like graduated school and stepped into something. The governor of your career sector, both Saturn and Uranus, have taken some pretty significant hits from some of the outer planets. Amanda, I have you on the list. Thank you so much. You're going to be right after Sierra. The significant hits that it has taken have fostered a need to reevaluate where you've been at career wise. I see one of them has been your Saturn return. If you have just steadily applied yourself from like 2017 to now, no change in direction, it is time to change direction. If you did make a change in a direction somewhere like 2020 to now, then I will say you're on track. But I see the demand and the push in your chart for you to begin the process of figuring out what's really aligned for you and stripping back what's not. With Saturn in the position that it's in your 10th house of career, sometimes career really blossoms a little bit slower than what it might to people you compare yourself with. The Saturnian 10th house comes into full maturity in career much later in life and in a way that takes a lot more of a methodical approach. With Saturn return, this would have been a check and balance in your life. Hey, Sierra, are you doing something that lights you up, that it makes you feel like you fit on the planet? Also, that makes a contribution and a difference so that it's both and not either or. Is this giving to you while you are giving to the world? That mix is the sweet spot for you. It doesn't have to be, your end all and be all passion, but it does need to be something where there's a give and there's a take. And this would have been a check in your spirit starting 2 to 3 years ago, like 2022, 2023, 2024, as Saturn has made its way into Pisces and is now making its way out of Pisces. If you've made a change in this period of time, then I would say you're absolutely probably, let me put it a different way, it was because Saturn would have made it so that you would have been too uncomfortable to continue on the pathway you'd been on. And if you were clinging on to it and it wasn't right for you, you probably would have gotten fired somewhere in this period of time. And as Saturn said, okay, baby, this is not for you. Pry your fingers off of this steering wheel. Bring it on back. We got to get you in alignment with your higher self for where you're meant to be going in this lifetime and how you're meant to be growing. But Saturn making these contacts to both governors of your career sector and now moving through the career sector and wrapping it up, I am seeing that this would have been a period of time where getting to the height of what you know is your potential in terms of impact and achievement may have felt like a strain. Now that Saturn is exiting and moving into your 11th house, you're going to find that this is a little bit easier. The North Node transiting here has placed a focus within you, an impetus and a provocation. I need you to focus up here. Your career is what needs your full and undivided attention. We're trying to get you on track to where you're meant to be. So now I'm going to look from a different vantage point. I'm going to switch the lens and come out of the chart. I just want to see what's going on in your energy here concerning career. Okay, I see the concern. Yeah, I'm looking at your energy body and I see the concern. A lot of what you're releasing here has to do with the experience of programs. It's programs from Earth's last chapter. Like you really fit into Earth Earth's last season in a very particular way, Sierra. This thing is what's happening now, and part of why I see you feeling like quaky, like earthquakey on the inside, is this interior experience of feeling like, oh no, Earth changed, but I don't know where I fit. Earth's not finished changing. Once she settles, you will settle. And this is why things feel so up in the air right now, and why I keep being shown vista, horizon, like open space, blank slate here for you. One of the things that's really going to serve you as you move through this is some nervous system regulation, because you're not off track. You're on the bridge. You've left one side and you're headed to the other, is what I keep being shown here. And because you're showing me this picture of walking across the bridge, but not being at your final destination yet, this is why things feel so uncertain. But you are moving towards something that is significantly more aligned. One of the things that I want to encourage you to do with Saturn in this position is stop looking back. Stop trying to go back to what it is that you've been going through in the past, or what served you in Earth's last chapter, because what was going on in Earth's last chapter is not what's going on now. You only need to look at life pre 2020 and life now to know that season is closed. None of us can go back there. So you are being prepared to be put on a pathway that is going to be of higher service to the world and is more aligned with you than ever before. But the challenge for you with your Saturn return, don't look back. Keep moving forward. Keep looking for what's in alignment. Okay. Um, Saturn return knocked me down. I feel like I'm in the career path where I can be myself good, but with midheaven and north node soon, I'm like, no, 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 no. North node points us in the direction of what it is we're supposed to be learning. And so with north node transit already through the 10th house, you're already learning how to expand career wise and reach your full potential. And this is what I am telling you. It's time, like you're already focused on it. This is the right thing to do. Um, so you're doing it. This isn't going to be you're not this isn't going to be an earthquake for you at all. North node hitting the MC line. You're going to be fine if you've already changed career and you feel on track. You're good to go. But there is something here around painting a new vision that I'm being called to speak to you about, that you really need to focus in on the bigger picture here, not the minutia of am I safe, but the bigger picture of where can I make an impact and make a difference. Because as long as you're making a difference, you're going to find that you're clothed, fed, housed, and you have the money you need. So I'm being reminded to tell you, focus up, because you're looking down and what you need to be doing is look up, Sierra. Okay. That's the channel message I have for you career wise. Let me see what's happening here. I have another question. Okay, I can answer one question in a mini read. If you want to go deeper into another question, you want to look at a whole other area of life, jump on the list again. I'm happy to channel for you again. I'm happy to look again, okay? But for now, I need to go on to Amanda. Let me know how what I just said resonates for you, Sierra. But yeah, that's the message for you. Nervous system regulation, look up, not down. Focus on the vision, not the past, and things are going to start to settle for you. Okay. But yeah, you're on track. If you've already changed careers and you're doing good stuff that you like, you are on track. I'm going to save this chart for you just in case you decide to get on the list again. Let me just save this so we don't have to put in your birth details again. Okay, minimize that. Let me go over here to Amanda. Thank you so much for your patience, Amanda. Go ahead and post your question. Really good to read for you, Sierra. Thank you for that. Hey, Jamaica Me Crazy. You probably don't remember, but in November 24, I had a live career reading. In the card you pulled was a humpback whale. You thought beluga because of the song with its baby. I quit my job in 25, still looking, but without much thought. In September, I went to Tahiti and I swam with them. I didn't even know it was a thing. Isn't that crazy? I love that. Good for you. Kylie says, I remember. I want pictures. Yes, it was so amazing. Oh, I love that for you. Congratulations. I'm not sure how if I can do that. You can add me on IG. Okay, cool. Okay, Amanda is from Fredericksburg, Virginia. And if you want to get on the list, you can. You would be right after I finish up with Amanda. I'm really excited to read for you, Amanda. Virginia out here doing big things these days. Let's see. Amanda says 6:52 p.m. But what's the date? What date am I putting in? What's the birth date, Amanda? I see 6:52 p.m., but I don't see your birth date itself. Okay. When she puts her birth date, we will continue. And if you want to jump on the list, you can. You would be right here after Amanda. Uh, let's see what's going on. Okay, Sierra's back on the list. Cool, Sierra. Yeah, all I see here is Amanda, Fredericksburg, 6:52. Okay, that's all right. 6'5". Got you. 6'5", 79. 5. Um, 6:52 p.m. Okay, let me make sure I got all of this right. Hello, Mello. Great to see you. Welcome. How you doing? Okay. So Amanda, Fredericksburg, 6:52 p.m. 6'5", 79. Question 1. What does my chart suggest about relocating this year and finding a home in my desired location, especially if I take a phased approach and split my time first? Now that is a really good question. Okay. Um, let me see. Inverse nodal return. So I'm seeing a return to something in the home on the home front that you've been to before. It sounds like you already know where you want to go. A phased approach, I don't see any problems with that at all. We're looking to Neptune and Jupiter for confirmation. I honestly don't know that it's going to totally require a phased approach, if I'm being completely honest. Let me get out in time and give you the exact date I'm seeing here because I'm seeing something just open up and it just work almost like magic. I'm not seeing it need to take all of that. You could, but I don't think you need to. Mm-hmm. Yeah. By about June, like literally just in time for your birthday, like by the time we get to like May, June, there's some transiting energy that's about to open up for you where you're going to have natal Jupiter conjunct, or sorry, transit Jupiter conjunct natal Jupiter, and you're going to have transit Saturn trine natal Neptune. And what this tells me about the house of home for you, as those two are governors, is that the opportunity for the perfect thing opens up literally right before the necessity for you to leave the old thing, and it just kind of goes boom boom just like that. It happens quick, it happens easy, it happens smooth. It almost happens by surprise with Uranus also moving into a sextile position with your natal Jupiter. It, if you want to take a phased approach, I see you can, but there is potential here to not need to. Like the money and the timing and the location all open up very synchronistically for you this year. Right around the May June timeframe, the latest I would say on that would be July, potentially early August, but I don't think it's going to take that long. I think like right around May June is when it's just going to fall into place for you. Um, I'm not seeing a signal here that a phased approach is required. It may even open up. Let me go back to the very end of April. I can tell, I can already feel it in the energy. That's too soon for you. The tail end of April. But I see Melinda's on the list. Hey, Melinda. Um, yeah, the tail end of April might be a little soon. So as early as like beginning of May. It could be a tail end of April, but I just see it like boom, 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 like it just lines itself up. Um, I'm so excited for you, Amanda, because this looks really good, especially if where you're trying to go is like a distance away, it's overseas. Um, it does look like it sort of magically just appears almost out of nowhere. Now, if you wanted to take a phased approach, here's the one recommendation I would say. And let me get my little retrograde situation together. Let me go back here and look at my retrograde thing. And yeah, okay. So the best time for you is going to specifically be, yeah, you want to avoid times when Jupiter and Neptune are retrograde this year in 2026. And so that time frame actually lines up here with what I'm seeing transit wise as well in the chart. That's May and June. That's going to be the best time for you. Now, unless you're going back to something you have done, a place you have lived before. Like in before, I'm going to use like air quotes here, past life or past this lifetime, either one. Then, if you wanted to stretch this into July, August, September, October, all of that looks good, even November and December, if you're going to be going back to some place you've lived before. But if you're going to move someplace you've never been, May, June, all at once, no phased approach, yes, necessary. Yes, it's overseas. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Can I get in your suitcase? I want to move overseas. I'm seriously thinking about it, but yeah, this looks really good, Amanda. And it doesn't look like it needs to be phased unless you want it to be. So I would start to, here's what my counsel will be based on what I'm seeing here. And let me go back to who's next on the list. That would be a grocery list. That is not this list. Sierra, if you want to paste your second question, that would be perfect because I'm going to do your second question now. Um, if you want things to be phased, you can, but I would strongly encourage you to think in terms of what would I have to believe were true to not need a phased approach, to just trust that what I need is going to open in the moment that I need it. What would I have to believe are true? Because I think you're going to find empowerment shows up that way. If you can really step into some strong faith and belief around some things. I love this for you. Please go get your life. Like relocate, live, all of the things. We're all being moved across the game board of life right now. So, yeah, do it. And that's the timeline I would look for. Okay. All right. So I have Sierra again. I'm thinking of splitting time January to June. Perfect. Perfect. And then June, jump. I see like May, June is when the thing is going to open up that's like your thing. So do it. Do it in May, June. Okay. Um, so yeah, I like that, Amanda. Go for it, girl. Okay, so Sierra, um, let's see what's happening here. I'm gonna do Sierra and then I'm gonna do Melinda Warren. Melinda Dub. So Sierra wants to know, um, what does my chart say about my relationship? I found I've been given an illusion and now I'm married. And with the new moon in Sag, what is happening? First of all, this new moon in Sag taking place a couple days right now from now hits your descendant line pretty hard, and your seventh house pretty hard. And so you are getting a wake up call of epic proportions with this new moon in Sagittarius hitting your seventh house of committed partnership. It's not just you, we all are. And whatever house Sagittarius governs for us, it's like, ooh, lights on, can't unsee that. There are roaches in here. Ooh, this sort of thing. And so, with the sun moon conjunction in your seventh house in this way, this certainty that's coming in for you, especially Sierra, with Saturn square this new moon from your ambition and career sector, like who you want to be out in the world. This new moon opposing your natal moon and your natal Mars. What's being shown to me is that you have gotten some truth here about what works for you and what doesn't. Now, what you do with that, that's going to be up to you. But the truth, non-negotiable, undeniable. I see the roaches. The roaches are real clear. And so if you feel like you've been given an illusion about your marriage or your relationship life, the question that this new moon in Sagittarius is asking you is, okay, if this is not the reality of my situation and what I want and what I need is something very different, who do I need to become? What actions do I need to take in order to come back into a life that's aligned with who I am? And so it's a little bit of a rude awakening. I'm going to be honest with you. It's asking you, especially with Saturn opposite your natal Venus here in your chart, it's asking you to get really realistic about, not the dream, but instead the like, what does it take to make the dream reality? And so maybe for you, it's y'all need some therapy, some coaching. Maybe for you, especially if this was like a financial issue or like he sold himself or she sold herself as somebody who was super ambitious, but now you're discovering, that their maladaptive coping mechanism is video games from the time they come home to the time they go to sleep. And you are like, what WTF? Like, you're not even available for conversation or cuddles. Like, what is happening? This sort of thing. This is where you may need to take a more direct stand in terms of who you are in the way that it's allowing the marriage to move or swing left or right, and get into alignment. You may need to have some difficult conversations, I'm seeing, with Saturn trine your natal Mercury. It may be time, not tough love, but just challenging conversations. Like, here's what I'm seeing. What is going on? I need you to talk to me. I'm seeing that the first 6 months of this coming year, as Saturn really lands in Aries, trine your natal Mercury there, difficult conversations are going to be non negotiable. And so I think there's a way that this marriage can be saved. I think there is a way that this marriage can be turned around, but it is necessary at this time, um, to really look at, okay, there's some things here that do not work for who I am. we need to talk about this because I can't be signed up in this marriage and be advocating for it, giving myself to the very thing that's killing me. We got to find another way to work together. And so, it's like growing pains, after the first 2 to 3 years in a marriage, people do settle in and it's like the rose colored glasses come off. This is definitely some of what I'm seeing here. Um, but let me add on to that. It's going to be more than one conversation. It's going to be multiples. You're going to need to have multiple conversations about this, whatever this is. So, and much of this, because of the Sag new moon, is clarity about the distinction between your needs and your wants. And this is a really big thing because your desire making mechanism, Venus, and your need making mechanism, the moon, they're square in your chart. And so, what you're attracted to and what you need may be two very different things. And you may have married what you were attracted to only to discover you're not getting what you need at this Sagittarius new moon. And so, as a result of this is step one: have a negotiation with you. What are my actual needs here? And like, what's my non negotiable? Right? And then from there, really take a good look at your person. Okay, I chose this and I chose you. Now that I understand who you are, how can we talk about how we both get our needs met in a way that's constructive? So, difficult conversations. The first 6 months of this year really going to be a proving ground for you, but I think you guys are going to come through it. I'm not seeing anything in here at this moment that is indicative of divorce or separation. I'm seeing a lot of refinement in terms of how we both show up, Sierra. Um, oof. I'm now looking psychically as I'm getting ready to start the next chart. Melinda, go ahead and drop your questions in the chat and your birth details. I'm going to look psychically now for you, Sierra. Wake up calls in my career and relationships. Yep, I got it. Thank you so much, Kamu. You're welcome, Sierra. Um, Looking psychically now at yourself in your marriage and the connection, I do see the disharmony here. Um, your partner doesn't know what to do. They're looking for some communication from you, but not just communication, but workability. And here's what I mean by that. I see your partner is confused about, not confused, let me put it a different way. Your partner is recognizing they are failing what this connection needs and as a result of what they're giving versus not giving. I'm watching in the energy between you, your person feels stuck between a rock and a hard place. Now, some of this is I see their job stuff, whatever's going on with them career wise, I see as a problem for both of you. That being said, there's still conversations the two of you can have that can get the marriage to a really good place as long as there's a lot of real honesty and you guys are willing to work as a team through this period of time. Self honesty, self awareness, willingness to receive feedback from the other person, willingness to share and receive, that is going to go a long way. This is probably going to be like the first real challenge of this marriage, but making it through this is really going to set up for you the potential for solidity as the two of you continue to move forward. Okay. But yeah, as I'm looking psychically, your partner really needs more specific solution oriented communication from you, Sierra. Not just this isn't working, what's not working and what would work better. What's the behavior you need to see? In your case, I strongly recommend Allison Armstrong. I think she's going to be a beautiful resource for you in terms of having productive conversations in partnership. AllisonArmstrong.com. Okay. She has great tools on how to have productive conversations in partnership. I'll leave it to you to go check that out. But anyone I've sent her way in terms of problem solving in marriage, in partnership with the other person, anyone I have sent her way who's actually done the Understanding Men, Understanding Women courses, anyone I've sent her way has come back to me and said, this literally saved my relationship. So I'm going to encourage you to take that on over the holidays to really turn things around. Okay. Um, 10, 19, 1986, 6:33 p.m. Okay. Let's open up Amanda's chart. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. You'll have to let me know how that resonates for you, Sierra, about your relationship. Okay. So, hello, Mello. Welcome. Woo! So happy to read for you again. Listen, if you're just joining, welcome. I would love to read for you. You would be right after Hello, Mello, who I'm reading for now. Okay, Hello, Mello. 10, 19, 86, 6:33 p.m. Erie, Pennsylvania. Okay, got it. Is it too soon for another love reading? I don't know, baby. I don't remember what we last spoke about. What's my next big change? I'm ready to quit the job I just started. I don't like the micromanaging. I feel like I'll never be happy in nursing. There's a lot happening there, Mello. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's like too many questions for one question mini reading. Let me know what you want me to focus in on. You want me to focus on job, big changes? You want me to focus in on love? Like where tell me where to direct my psychic attention. Hello, Bello, and I got you. Narrow it down for me. Sierra says, I will get with her. Thank you. I feel like I need to do some shadow work too. Thank you again. Talk again soon. You got it. Yeah. Um, yeah, like I said, I don't know that it's necessary. Maybe it is shadow work, but what I'm seeing when I looked at your energy psychically had a lot more to do with needs and wants not being synchronized. And as a result, it's like there's maybe this feeling of I can never quite be satisfied, Sierra. And that's not true, but you do have to hone in on what are my core needs and my core desires. They're different, but whatever's core is a deal breaker. And that's the starting point of negotiation with your partner. But you got to know what those are for yourself and be in the process of meeting them for yourself. Okay, that's what I have for you, sweetheart. Let me tune into Hello Mello wants to know about big changes. Okay. So, um, Pluto jumping into Aquarius has been there. Something about to change with your money, with Uranus going into Gemini. You probably already got a little bit of taste of that earthquake. Uh, um, I'm managing my nerves with all of that. Oh, I love it. Okay, Melinda. Yeah, 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 yeah. I remember our conversation about Mike. I do remember that. Okay, because we emailed a little bit after that. Um, what's going on here with your son? Okay, you've already had that change. What's going on with Jupiter? Okay. Ooh, child. Okay. Your whole perspective on life is about to shift. And I think things on the home front are about to get significantly better. Um, I know we talked about this, but I don't know where you landed with this with your ex-husband, but I see some money coming in from a house or like an asset, like selling off an asset and that bringing money in for you. I also don't know if you've like got some sort of plan where maybe somebody's going to be paying you rent, but again, it's like some sort of money coming in from an asset that I'm seeing show up for you next. in a really nice way. Like maybe you and your husband had some sort of maybe life insurance policy and y'all cashed that out. Your ex-husband, I mean, some sort of asset money is about to come in. And it's really going to bless you in a surprising way once you see it come in. Um, so I would say number one, the things we talked about in terms of closing out what you need to close out with your ex-husband on paper, get that done ASAPishly, because once that's done, Melinda, you're going to find that it opens the pathway to some financial breathing room for you, which I know, look, who can't use that in this economy, right? That financial breathing room is going to really help you. But then after that, ma'am, come July, like there's somebody. I don't want to put all your business on Front Street, but there's somebody who's spending some time with you in your home, and it is very intimate time. Now, you know your situation better than I do, although I have coached you on your situation, given how you want it to land. Tighten up your focus, girl, because come May, June, and July, as Jupiter lands over here in Leo as the governor of the house of intimacy, somebody's coming over for some spend the nights. It is cute. It's real cute because it looks real stable. It looks really like everything that you wanted it to be is starting to show itself come May, June, and July. Your money falls into place. Your love life falls into place. Tight, keep that focus. I told you in that conversation, keep that focus real tight. Um, okay, put your business out there. Okay, look, girl, we're gonna set husband aside and deal with man number one, Mike, and man number two. Man number one stays where I told you he was. He's just waiting for you to get it together. Man number two is having some problems about the fact that you are like tightening up your focus and it's not on him. That being said, now I'm tuning in psychically, he's going to double down. And you've probably already seen this a little bit in his space. There's this energy of, I need to double down so she knows how freaking for real I am. Um, I don't know. Let me check in with the guidance team here. I don't like it. I don't like it. Not from a personal place, but just from there's a secondary agenda here that, and I can't put my finger on it. With man number two, there's a secondary agenda that's just, it's not the doubling down. I think number one is going to show you that there's some red flags here because I'm already picking them up. I don't know what they are, but they're the rush to just like jump in and be the hero and move into your house and all that stuff. I didn't pick this up the other day, like earlier this month, but I'm picking it up now. He's going to start to push in a way I see it's going to make you very uncomfortable. Hold your ground. Don't waver, don't wobble. I see man number one. I said a big goodbye yesterday to Nick, so no worries. Yeah, man number one, on the other hand, because there's waffling in your space, there's waffling in his space. Like get congruent inside, and you'll see your outside fall into place. Um, but expect that you have not heard you have not heard the last from Nick, not at all. Um, expect him to double down come January. When he doubles down, don't waver if you're clear about what you want, and don't base what you want based on what you're seeing with your eyes on the outside. We've talked about this all year in the union workshop. We walk by faith and not by sight. So I want you to really pay careful attention to the ways you let what's happening externally stimulate you and pull you off track so that you can stay focused. Saturn moving through your 12th house is going to help you clean out the cobwebs of your subconscious mind when it comes to these men and what's going on so that you can run a tighter ship. You're going to find that the next major life change here for you is somebody moving in. That's what this looks like to me. Or at least spending some really high quality spend the night time, and it's coming up real quick. So just make sure you're ready for that. Okay. That's what I have, Melinda. It is about your love life. It wasn't about anything else. Career stuff looks like you've stepped into empowerment. Money stuff, I know you know that's going to change, got to change. You're already working on it. You just got a new job. We just talked about that. The only thing I see happening after that is love really falling into place for you. Okay. Thank you, Mellow Yellow. Mellow Yellow. Hello, Mellow. Thank you, Hello, Mellow. It's so nice to read for you and your men. Come back anytime, girl. Come back anytime. Oh my goodness. Your life is I girl, I got the popcorn. I have the popcorn and I'm just watching. Wishing you the best. Let me know how it resonates and keep me updated. Listen, if any of you have a second question, let me know. I'm happy to read for you again. If any of you are just getting on the list, I would absolutely love to read for you. SJT looks like they just jumped on the list. So let me read for SJT. If you want to jump on the list, you'd be right after SJT. I need to write a book. Yeah, and call it Melinda's Men because I would read it. Kylie says, I remember having a love life. I know, right? Like, Hello Mello's out here, like living three people's lives at one time. SJT, you are up. I'm going to read for her. Okay. Born in Indiana, born in Peru, born on 11/24. Hey, happy belated birthday. 1986, 6:38 a.m. Peru, 11/24, 86, 6:38 a.m. Okay, got you. All right, so let's get into this. What's love looking like lately? That is an excellent question. What is love looking like lately? Um, Let me jump in here. Okay, so what love's looking like for you, my friend, is a bit of a resurrection. I see there's been, I don't want to say a dry spell, but definitely a like once burnt, twice shy spell where there's some like, let me pause some things. Let me just stand back and observe what parts of this stuff is me and what parts of this stuff is like just it being a wrong time. I see you put love on pause just a little bit. Um, as I'm looking at this, some of this coming through psychically. I'm seeing you starting to dip your toe in the water. Jupiter jumping into your ninth house is restoration of faith when it comes to love. We're going to see that more so in the March, April time frame, April, May time frame. I see you really starting to try again, which I think is going to really serve you. I think you're going to be surprised at what you find out there when you start trying again. I also see that you're changing a lot of your patterning when it comes to love with Uranus traveling through your seventh house. Your level of consciousness when it comes to partnership, what you're looking for, and the way you're choosing to show up, totally radically different than who you used to be pre 2020. I see whatever it was during the COVID years, 2021, 22. that changed for you was a radical leap change shift in consciousness when it came to the type of person you're attracted to, number one, and also the type of like the way you're willing to do partnership. Like you may, here's an example. Perhaps in the past you did a lot of anxious attaching to people. I see you've done some work on yourself and now you're like, ooh, that's not even attractive. That's not even a good look. And people who are anxious back with you are kind of like, no. Or the opposite, where it's like, you know what? I'm more secure now than I've ever been, but I'll never date anybody avoidant again who's not working on becoming secure themselves. I will take somebody anxious and help them become secure, but or I'll date somebody secure, but I really only want to be with people who are chalant about me, who are excited about me, enthused about me, can't get enough of me. Like, be clingy, I don't care. But this is where I'm going in terms of dating. Let me see. I'm in a long term situation with someone and he's trying hard this time, but ooh, the damage he's done in the last 2 years. Yeah, I'm seeing this for you. This sort of like the pattern has to change. He's changing and it's helping, but I'm working on my patterns and reactions. That's good. I am seeing the pattern shift here with Uranus in this position. There is some ways that this can resurrect, but it's going to take some time. The consciousness shift here for you with Pluto in the third going into Aquarius, the second sign of the house of communication and consciousness. The consciousness shift here for you is being in your power. I don't know that. I think one of the things that's going to help you, and I think it'll serve you to just double check before I say this. Mm, I want to say you could get a therapist, but I'm not seeing the timing is quite right for that yet. Um, but you might. I think it'll serve you some if you want to work with a coach or a therapist in the interim to just let go of the past and the things you've seen from him, SJT. But what I'm seeing overall for you is this sort of energy of like not being willing to go back into the past patterns in any capacity. And if the only way the relationship survives is if you are participating in some format of the past patterning, SJT, I see you being willing to destroy the relationship before you're willing to destroy yourself. Um, and so I'm seeing, yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. Something about time and timing it's not there in this moment for you. So, what I would say instead, again, you'd be another great candidate for Allison Armstrong's work because she really deeply focuses on consciousness and communication patterns between men and women when it comes to having what she calls extraordinary partnership. And so, I think the work that she's laid out in on you see it on her website. She's got stuff for men, stuff for women, stuff for couples because this is like this axis of communication where we see Jupiter, Pluto in opposition. I've been talking about these two on the twin flame lunar updates, how this is a sort of like ego break. One of the things I'm seeing here for you in connection is like transcending the patterns of ego, his and yours, and coming into a place of both of you having more honest, more real communication than you've ever had. So, and if you both can have that more honest, more real communication than you've ever had, the connection is going to move forward. If you can't, I see you being like, oh, well, I mean, not I just don't see you being willing to sustain yourself in dysfunction for 2 to 3 more years just because you're in a relationship. Like, I'm not seeing you like, let's stick it out through the hard times. No, I'm seeing you like, you know what? Let's see if we can make something completely new and different happen. And if we can, great. I'm willing to see what's possible. But if we can't, I'm out because what we've been doing is dysfunctional. I don't see you being willing to sort through dysfunction any longer. I see the pattern break is here. So, um, check out Allison Armstrong's work. She's got some free stuff over on her website. Listen to it while you're doing cardio. Listen to it while you're folding laundry or putting laundry away, whatever it is you do. And just start the process of shifting your consciousness concerning him and invite him into it. Shifting consciousness concerning connection. Because I'm seeing his issue has been he just had some patterns that are based on wounds that became maladaptive coping mechanisms for him. Some of it is attention seeking behavior, some of it is checking out behavior. Um, this function has to go. Thank you, Kate. You're welcome. Um, but both what it amounts to is disconnection from self, which ultimately means he's disconnecting from you. And so I see that the path forward, and this is the psychic reading part, the channeled messages part, the path forward is placing a demand on y'all reconnecting to yourselves so that you can actually have a functional relationship with one another. And either he's going to reconnect to himself so he can have a functional relationship with you, or I see you being out before you close out next year. So that's what I have for you, SJT. But I would check out the work from Allison Armstrong and see just see what's in there for you in the realm of coming out of an old pattern and starting something new. Okay. We have CB next. Courtney, you're up. Thank you so much for jumping on the list. I would love to read for you. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Cool. Let me know if that resonates because I'm seeing that old pattern of self disconnection coming out of his field very strongly. And that disconnecting is what's at the heart of this for him. And what's underneath the self disconnecting is a lot of pain. That man's in a lot of pain from his past that he just never dealt with. Now, for him, work with Lee and Sherry would go a long way. For you, Allison Armstrong would go a long way. And if you don't know Lee and Sherry, let us know. We'll link, Kylie or I will link it in the chat for you. But he could really use that, working with the two of them. You really need some new communication stuff. He definitely disconnects with drinking and keeping his distance. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. It's like a checking out thing. And it's pain. He's just trying to numb pain. There's a lot of pain underneath that. Okay, Brooklyn, New York. Eight, 18, 1976. But yeah, I see you being in a place where it's like, yeah, nah, I'm not about to sit here and let you stay in this pattern without getting help. If you're going to be with me, we're getting help. I see that so clearly in your energy. So good luck with that, SJT. Keep us posted. Keep me posted. Okay, I'll check into them. Thank you. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, coming into CB's chart energy in question now. Let me just move SJT and her man out of space there. Cool. So Summer says, I've been in a relationship for 7 months that began during a Jupiter vertex trine. Ooh, that is nice and very juicy. What do you see for our relationship long term, and how can I work with the transit to help it flourish? I love it. That's a really good question. Let me just see where you're at in terms of what's making relationship flourish in present time for you. Okay, I see you are on you are on your no BS. I'm not taking any shorts right now. transit with Saturn moving through your seventh house. Governors of the seventh are Jupiter and Neptune. Transits to that include Uranus. Okay, so you are elevating in consciousness, elevating in perspective, belief systems, faith, all of that, taking a giant quantum leap forward. Let me see what's happening with your partnership asteroid and your Venus. Purging toxic patterns when it comes to desire and connection and attention. Whether it's like not taking up enough space, being the only one in the room who can have any oxygen, this sort of thing. Thank you so much, Kylie. I really appreciate you linking them. They're the ones to go to if you've got major pain stuff that needs to be dealt with. That Uranus conjunct South Node conjunct your natal Venus here, CB. This is what's opening up a release of patterns that you've outgrown when it comes to connection. Patterns that one may have outgrown with a Venus Virgo are like getting the ick, as the young ones say, like just getting the ick and not being able to overlook stuff with people being too persnickety. I'm not getting that vibe from you like at all. I don't think you're that way. Um, I don't think you have a lot of perfectionism patterns based on what I'm seeing here psychically and as I'm channeling your energies. However, what I'm also seeing here is you're getting a lot of activation with Uranus conjunct your natal divine masculine energy and you're trying your natal divine feminine energy. This is coming into a significantly higher level of love than you may have experienced before. And as you're coming into that higher level of love and clarity about what love is and what partnership is, I'm seeing you needing to step into for yourself, self worth, self esteem, and then partnership in self worth, self esteem. New ways of collaboration, new ideas about what's fair. Here's an example, right? Um, in your old chapter, fair might have been, well, we're moving in together, so we're both paying 50-50. Well, one of us makes 2.5 times more than the other person, so we're not paying 50-50. We're paying proportionate. We're going to map out the ratio of what we make to the rent, and you're going to pay what's proportionate for what you make, and I'm going to pay what's proportionate for what I make, and that's fair. New definitions of fairness are what's showing up for you. And some of this is going to be breaking some of your own so called rules. And that's what I'm seeing with this South Node Venus here, breaking some of your own so called rules when it comes to the way it is, quote unquote, supposed to be, the way it's, quote unquote, should be. Because those were ideas that are nice in theory and principle. But now that Saturn is moving through the seventh house, I'm seeing you needing to put theory into practice. And in praxis, some of these ideas don't work. In praxis, some of these ideas actually cause more strain than they create connection. And so I'm seeing you step into this season for yourself that is going to open true connection for you, elevated connection for you, because it's dropping a lot of the ideas and stories about and ideals about what should be so that you can actually be in connection to what is and elevate what is into its maximum potential, both inside of you and with your person. So, I think you're going to start to, if I'm being honest about what I'm seeing here, I think your person's going to start to reveal some of their dreams to you, some of their hopes and goals and wishes to you. I also think you're going to start to hear about some of the wounds on the way to making those things real, some of the challenges. I think you're going to start to notice some of that for yourself in your own interior divine masculine energy and want to share some of that with them so the two of you can be in a place of standing in agreement that together we are going to call out of the ether and into the world our hopes, goals, wishes, and dreams in terms of what the kind of life we want to live, the kind of world we want to live into. And so I see this being a time of coming into not coming into, unplugging from the collective zeitgeist when it comes to how to have a partnership, and instead plugging into each other's heart and calibrating, how do I love you, the person in front of me, not what does the world say is the right way to do this. Right? I see you starting to come into this season of a lot of transparency, vulnerability, and honesty together as you reveal more and more of some of the unspoken things from your past and your history. For you, this is the shedding that you're doing with Saturn moving through the seventh has a lot to do with family programming. That you would have seen in your childhood, releasing your love life from the bondage of your parents' marriage, whatever that was, whether they had a great marriage, whether they got divorced and remarried 5 times each, whatever it was, releasing your love life from needing to be the arena in which their wounds in love and marriage and partnership gets resolved. That Saturn transit through your seventh is helping you to release a lot of that programmatic stuff so that you're able to be present in present time with the person who's standing right in front of you. And then invite them into presence with you. So that's really how you help it flourish in 2026. Let me just check the psychic information, CB. Summer, I think it was you who wrote maybe 2 years ago, last year at some point or the year before, that you lost like all your friends at one time, or like 2 friends in the same week. You like mentioned it in a comment you left on one of my videos, and I never forgot that. But one of the things I'm seeing for you right now in present time is one of the reasons them friends are no longer a part of your world has to do with the fact that they wouldn't have been conducive or productive for your current love life. They had to go. What I'm seeing taking place now, and now that I look at your chart, I see it as well, is that you're in this period of incubation with your person where the two of you are going to start to formulate couple friends, like friends that are conducive for your relationship, that have like positive points of view and perspective on partnership, on men, on women, on connection, not these sort of shitty ideas about love and connection. And it's not to say your old friends had shitty ideas, whatever they're going through, because I'm looking at them now, it's not it wouldn't have been helpful for you. It would have been distractive and detracting from where you're at in your relationship, Summer. So that's what I'm seeing here for you, love. I hope I got the right Summer when I'm referencing that comment from a year or more ago. But what I'm seeing here is a lot of growth, and new and supportive people start to come into your world that are actually going to act as fertilizer in the soil for your connection. Okay? That's what I have, Summer. Thank you so much for letting me look at the energy and also the charts. Really appreciate that. I am wishing you good luck. You're going to have to let me know how that resonates. And if you want to be on the list, you can be. I just finished reading for Summer, but you would be now if you would like to have me look at your chart. I would absolutely love to read for you. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. And if you want to get back on the list, you can. If you have questions, I feel like I've been talking a lot. I've been talking since 7. If you want to get back on the list, you can get back on the list as well. I can answer a second question for you. Thank you again, Kylie, for putting Lee and Sherry there in the chat for anyone who needs it. How is you guys' ramp up into the Sagittarius new moon going? How's the energy? You guys will have to let me know. And if you want to jump on the list, you can. List is open. Amazing. Mm-mm-mm. And have you guys heard about this flooding in Washington that's going on? I'm really curious if you've heard about what's going on out there. Because I'm seeing it on social media, like people from Washington State, like showcasing like what's happening. And I can definitely see it astrologically. There's a Jupiter Neptune communication that's going on right now that, yeah, absolutely create some massive flooding. But I am curious if you guys are seeing it as well. I'm done. Ready for the wrap up of 2025. Yeah, right? I do get that, Kylie. Same. Luckily, the first few months of 2026 are supposed to be, at least astrologically speaking, smoother. Hello Mello says I feel strong. I've definitely felt like I shifted to another timeline, but I can't tolerate humans much. Haha. Yeah, I get that. I do get that. I definitely feel very similar, a little like humans, schmumins, where I'm just I'm a little frustrated with humanity right now, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that what needs to happen is happening to facilitate an advancement in human consciousness. Hey, Hope, Love, and Sunshine. I am so happy to see you here. How are you doing? It's been a minute. Kylie and Hope, I did email both of you yesterday with some info to connect. I hope both of you saw it. Let me know if you did not see it. I will resend it to you, but also double check your span just in case. That I remember when Kay gave me good news once upon a time. Well, we're in a it's not that I don't have good news. It's that what we have going on right now is just so much change. And so much of the news that I'm giving to people in present time is about how to navigate change. Um, how do you move through significant change? Oh, I haven't seen it or checked my email. Okay, double check it. Double check it because I wanted to make sure I connected with the two of y'all before we close this year or early in the start of next year, and I sent y'all a way for us to do that. So please double check it and go ahead and set that up. Because you guys have just been such amazing moderators for me. I want to make sure that I give a little something, something back to my girls. You guys have really held it down this year and directed traffic in beautiful ways and told people where to go and what to do in some really beautiful ways. Deleted nasty comments before I had to look at them in beautiful ways. So thank you. This year has been a shit show of stagnancy. Oh, Hope, I'm sorry to hear that. No way. No way. I am so sorry to hear that. Um, what I will say is that there's if this year felt stagnant, just get ready because it's not supposed to be stagnant. There's supposed to be a lot of movement going on. Um, SOP says ready for next year, but staying present. Kylie is just fabulous. I can't keep up with her. Kylie is pretty fabulous. She's a next level mod for sure. Um, Kylie says, "What email, girl?" Okay, I see. I clearly need to resend. Um, Let me go back here. Let me see what the subject line was. Exclusive holiday appointments available for you. If you just put in exclusive holiday, you'll see it there. And hope, let me actually, I know I forwarded it to Flower. Let me forwarded it. Let me forward it to you. Um, but the first line in the email said hello and happy holidays exclamation point. If you search by that, you'll see it. Okay. Um, Thank you. Flips hair, winks at you. My pleasure, Kylie. My pleasure. My absolute pleasure. Let's see. Let's see. Let me forward this to you because it's the same stuff. So, Amy, I did send you one on September 16th. Um, I'm going to resend it to you, but just double check your spam. I sent it to your email, Tweety Birdie. Okay. I just re-forwarded it to you. Okay. So yeah, if anyone wants to get on the list, you can. I'd be more than happy to read for you. I'm gonna hang out here for just a little while longer. If you guys have any questions, I just put it top of your inbox again, hope, love, and sunshine. Um, if you guys have any collective questions and things you want me to look at, not too political, maybe just a little bit. Um, okay, good. Kylie, did you just look? Because I sent you special links. Girl, I sent you special links. And in the special links, there's access, not the. You guys have a different. Yeah, you guys have access to a whole different calendar than the other humans do. You guys have access to a whole different set of availability. Um, I just looked it. I just clicked the link, Kylie. Click it again, hun. You'll see. You'll see what I have. But yeah, if you got stuff you want me to answer about the collective, I can do that. Lord knows we need a happy new year too. Yeah, right? I would love that. Trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for my new year. I don't have any plans right now, but I don't, Lord knows, I don't need to have no plans. I need to stay in the house. But yes, yes, yes. If you guys have any collective questions, let me know. I'll look at those. And if you want to book, you can. And if you want to jump on the list, you can as well. I would love to read for you. SOP with Camel, Merry Christmas, Kay. And my reading from you is a great gift and a launch for a fabulous new year. Thank you. You're welcome. You are so welcome, Raven. It is my absolute pleasure. Um, Mostly because you're just fun to read for. You are a lot of fun to read for. I'm so glad we had the chance to connect. Okay, I see the email you just sent. I'll play with it later for a short. You're welcome. Hope, love, and sunshine. Um, yeah, yeah. What are you guys planning for New Year's? Do you guys have any fun New Year's Eve plans? I'm trying to go out to visit the meditation center that I study at because they're in a different city than me. And I want to go out there for the special thing that they have for New Year's, but we'll see. I don't know if I'm actually going to do that or if I'm going to end up doing something else. It's my daughter's 16th birthday on 1/1. Oh, hello, Mello. I love that. Happy sweet 16. That is so good. SOP with Camel, thank you. Good to know. Yes. Hope asks for the collective. What are some of the important astrological events coming up next year and what will their impact be? That's a really good question. Really good question. I mean, we're living some of them now, like they've started early. I want to go to a concert. Have you? You got invited to a concert, ma'am. Are you going to go? Or did that concert already happen? Because there's a lot of good energy in the air for concerts, for collective stuff, all of it. Okay, so let's pull up a new chart. A new chart. Chart. Here we go. No plans for New Year's. I'm dog sitting probably for my sisters, but this Saturday we'll be celebrating my sister's birthday at 80s Club, all decked out in neon, baby. I love that. Oh my goodness. I really love that for you. That sounds like a lot of fun. Um, Look at some stuff for 2026. Let's start with January 1st. And we'll pick a sunrise chart. There we go. Okay, so this is the energy we sort of start the new year with, where we see Sun and Mars conjunct. we see Pholus and Venus conjunct the Sun and Mars. It's other than my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. I just don't like seeing Pholus too heavily in the mix or emphasized at any point in time. It's not. Whenever Pholus is in the mix, we do see things that like accidents that could be prevented, like preventable problems, mostly due to the actions of people who are not like consciously aware of being in the wrong place at the right time or being in the wrong place at the wrong time ourselves. So there's a little bit of a vibe here as we kick off the new year of this energy of, things sort of feeling a little bit like um efforts that we put out there and or things that we call in. Mars's efforts, Venus's receptivity, things we call in, just being on earth at this moment in time. There is this little bit of an energy of like, ooh, a little bit of a feeling like our efforts are thwarted, just a little bit. That quickly shifts though as these planets shift. And so one of the things that I will say, um that I do like about this energy is, people are passionate, they're enthusiastic with Venus and Mars conjunct with the sun. I like to see that. I like to see Mercury and Juno. Lots of good communication can happen. I think people are going to find that, their Happy New Year texts, Happy Holiday texts to loved ones, estranged and known, are well received. Um, but I think that there is a little bit of an energy of sort of this like, man, things could be better. That's in the atmosphere. But let's go zoom out. I want to fast forward a little bit in time. If you're just joining, welcome. List is open. I would read for you after I finish this collective energy question that I received from one of the mods. I'm just reading some collective energies now. Go into 2026. I want to see the tail end of the first quarter. So, as we close out Q1, this is probably my favorite energy of the year. First of all, every single planet is direct. We only have a couple of asteroids up here that are retrograde. The nodes are retrograde. They're always retrograde for the most part. But all of the other planets are moving in direct formation by the time we get to the end of March. And I love to see that because that tends to herald a period of time where collectively we all feel like life is moving forward in one way or another. As we come into Aries season, the tail end of Pisces season, we all feel this sort of cosmic reboot for ourselves, which we don't always feel at that time, depending upon what's going on in the sky. This past year, we had a Venus and a Juno retrograde kind of overlapping, and that had people having emotional whiplash in relationships at the start of the year. The start of next year is a lot cleaner, it's significantly smoother. And as a result, we also see people are able to move things forward, relocations, projects, renovations, new jobs, new relationships. The beginning of 2025 is the best time for all of that. We see a lot of forward momentum and movement early on in the year. I also love to see Saturn and Neptune wrapped up in Pisces and now squarely landed in Aries. Now, one of the things that I've noticed about this collectively is that it has created a lot of identity crisis, and it's created the completion of the cult of celebrity that we had gotten used to, especially the influencer celebrity, where people have had like personal brands that are really just based off of personality or things like that. We're already seeing that with the way people are responding to the Kardashians. Mr. Beast came into some heat earlier this year as these two dipped into Aries, and he was probably one of the most loved influencers for a long time. But here's this energy that is talking about coming out of like pedestalizing the cult of personality and its deities, and really coming back into a period of time where we're all starting to recognize with some humility how much alike we all are, how much we have in common, how spiritually we're all connected. Thank you, Neptune and Aries. But also, um, that we all suffer, we all bleed. Thank you, Saturn and Aries. And the two of them together are going to work overtime to do a lot of, I don't want to say erasure of individuality, but the things that people were utilizing to feel special or different, we're going to see a lot of that fall away as people come into unique character that's actually based on true self, not um, perfect self. I think we're going to continue to see a lot of influencers, especially on like Instagram or like visual media platforms, start to take off and reveal what's behind the mask. And we're going to see an elevation of authenticity content as Saturn moves into Aries. Like, here's what it really is. Here's what really goes on behind the scenes in my situation. We'll see the rise in content that's like, here's how much money I make, or a rise in content that's like, here's what I look like without makeup, or a rise in, here's what's going on with my credit card bill since I keep doing all these hauls on social media. This is what it actually looks like to have to pay that off, this sort of thing. Authenticity content is going to perform extremely well in the Saturn and Neptune in Aries years. Spiritual content will too. But specifically, the Saturn in Aries years, people's nose for what's fake is going to be so freaking sharp. Saturn in Aries is going to unmask where people have used an identity that isn't their own in order to elevate their status and very quickly deflate that balloon collectively. So, these sort of scandals that we're seeing around entertainers, these scandals that we're seeing around celebrity, these scandals that we're seeing around influencers, where we're starting to see how like human they really are, that's going to continue. So that's a major energy of not just 2025, but sorry, 2026, but also 2027 as Saturn makes its way through Aries. We're going to really start to see, in terms of identity, what's real and what's fake. So that's one of the major energies. One of the other major energies I'm seeing here, and we've talked about this on the channel a lot since 2023, since Pluto moved into Aquarius. One of the other major changes here that I'm seeing is collectively worldwide. There will be no slowdown of the rise of unions, protests, collectives coming together to find new ways of generating income and business, people moving off grid, living in new ways, and utilizing new tech to do it, all of this sort of thing, where people are coming together in new ways to live, to work, to play. We see things now where people are like, seven or eight elders are coming together to buy a retirement home and like live together, do life together, Golden Girls style. This is only going to rise. People coming together to do life in new ways. We're going to find that it's not only safer in numbers, but there's also more opportunities in numbers. And people are going to want a return to some level of connection and community. And it's going to be old things made new again. as Pluto transits through Aquarius. We'll see homesteading, people buying up land and then building like tiny houses on it, things like that. But Pluto in Aquarius plus the influence of Uranus and Gemini, that combination is what's giving rise to AI. And so the conversation around artificial intelligence will continue, it will amplify, and not being able to tell the distinctions between what's AI and what's real is going to be a bit of a conversation for a little while as these two settle into these two signs. With Uranus having a conversation here in Gemini, um, you already know we're in a quandary around news media and social media. The quandary gets more quandary-esque in terms of what's real, what's fake, what came from a bot, what came from a human, um, and the splitting of consciousness and the fomentation of division. That's not going to stop. That's actually going to continue. It's going to get a little bit worse before it gets a little bit better, a lot better, actually. So, some of this sort of return to authenticity that Saturn is doing in these first 2 years, while these two are settling in for a much longer period of time in their respective air signs. So, this return to authenticity is going to be part of a collective psychological revolt when it comes to artificial. Like, people aren't going to want artificial in the same ways that they did. Um, Artificial like faces, auto tune or face tuned faces, all of the like Botox that has everyone's lips looking like a duck, and their foreheads not being able to express emotion. This sort of thing is about to start calming down significantly. We're about to come into an era of sobriety around these things, mostly because the exponential speed at which Uranus and Pluto are causing artificial intelligence to be a tool that is moving unchecked for a little while is having people start to feel more jealously guarded about preserving humanity and personal connection. So, I'm excited about that. I think that's actually going to be really constructive for us for a couple of years, but it does mark a sharp duality in consciousness where some people are going to go harder into AI land and some people are going to go harder into reality land. And this split in consciousness, will have us all kind of like, what is my relationship to technology and how am I doing it in a way that's conscious and authentic and real for me? So, yeah, I think that'll be very interesting in terms of kind of what's happening next with Uranus and Gemini. In addition to this, we're going to see a lot of people step into awakened consciousness, start to explore new ideas, explore new um, aspects of spirituality and consciousness, all of that. So I think this is going to be a very interesting time in terms of the elevation of consciousness. I think social media is going to take a bit of a turn that allows us to connect in more authentic and real ways. But while that's happening, we'll also see the same stuff we saw this year, which is like, oh my gosh, like we found out that 60% of the right-wing bots on Twitter or X came out of, or the right-wing accounts came from bots in Nigeria, bots in Russia, bots in China. Like, that story broke and people were like, whoa, I didn't really realize all of this. We're going to start to see more truth come to light when it comes to the way news media and social media is orchestrated and managed. That stuff's not going to be able to be as hidden as it once was. And so as a result, I think we're going to see people starting to get news from people. It's weird, like different um, social media accounts of news media influencers. I think we're going to start to see that instead of people trusting network news in the same way that they once did. So that's kind of a short answer to a question that I could make a lot longer, Hope. And I'm not going to make that longer. But if you guys found that interesting, let me know. We can certainly do like more of that kind of stuff if you want to. And if you're just joining, welcome. You can get on the list. I'm probably going to wrap it up here soon. Um, with all you need to do if you want to get on the list, I can read for you next. I just had a question from a moderator that I wanted to answer for the collective. You just send 3333 to PayPal or to Venmo, and I will read your chart. I will also give you channeled messages about your circumstance and your question. Okay. Let me see what's happening here. You guys are chatting it up. Oh, so you, Kylie, you have somebody who's coming and going. Interesting. Yes, the nice to look at. We could always use a morale booster, Kylie. I'm a fan of morale boosters around these parts. Yeah, I'm not a fan of AI. Too many fake videos out there. Yeah. It's a lot of effort to have a situationship, but sometimes you're reminded. Nothing wrong with eye candy. That's it. Like I said, I call them morale boosters now. Like some of these things are really good for morale. No, winky, wonky, hunky, tonky, donkey. Hi. I love your screen name. um, I don't have Cash App set up, baby. I'm so sorry. It's not, I don't have a Cash App and I don't have one linked to my business either. So I'm sorry, I can't take Cash App. Um, PayPal, Venmo. Somebody earlier, Sierra, set it up for herself when she wanted to get a reading. So she just went in and set up PayPal pretty quickly. PayPal will allow you to use a credit card or a debit card without needing to utilize a what do you call it, like have a full account. You just click the link and you can put in your card number to pay, so you don't actually have to have like a PayPal account. But no, I don't have Cash App. No, talking about Elish, he's in and out, the circumstances. um Hope says I want to ask a question, but I swear I have no clue where to start. It's all good, baby. If you can think of where, like, what you want me to look at, you can point at an area of life. Like, I want you to talk to me about money, or I want you to talk to me about love, and I can do that too. Okay. You don't have to necessarily know specifics of what you want to know. Okay. It's more like I need to ask investigative journalism for my life. Okay, so we need to play CIA and FBI here just a little bit. You've come to the right person. Come to the right location. We can definitely do that. Okay. You might have to resend the email. Kylie, you got it, babe. You got it. Yeah. Um, what are your beautiful names? What of the environment in 2026? That is a good question. I don't see major changes on that front yet. So, kind of what we have been seeing, unfortunately, starts to carry on a little bit more because Uranus is leaving Taurus. Some of the extreme weathers that we have been seeing SOP with Camel, um, some of the extreme weather does start to even itself out a little bit with Uranus in an earth sign. Those extremes tend to present themselves even more sharply. But now that Uranus is going into an air sign, we're gonna, and some of this like extreme weather and extreme change that we've been seeing, it's a function of Uranus at the 29th degree of Taurus. Um, where we have this sort of, volcanoes erupting and tectonic plates shifting and causing tsunamis and flooding and earthquakes, these sorts of things. As soon as Uranus gets all the way into Gemini, a lot of that does get better. um, it is going to calm down a little bit. But the fact that we are in this period of time where I mean, the pole shift is real. And that is indeed shifting what places are warm and what places are hot. Um, or sorry, warm and cold or hot and cold. And then on top of that, we have, the environmental nonsense that we have added to global warming because, putting stuff in the air and the water and cutting down all the trees is not helping. One of the things that I see around the environment starting to transform, Raven, is with Pluto moving into Aquarius, I see collectives of people coming together to make more changes on that front, to say we actually find this and this a major priority when it comes to the environment, and so we're going to take a stand for it in a way that we've not been able to take a stand before. And that is going to help some of the stuff. But if what we're looking for is like a collective consciousness shift in the environment and the way we take a stand for the environment, that's going to take a little bit more time. Um, there's a few more fires to put out, unfortunately. And I don't mean literally, but I recognize that literally is probably also part of it. I meant metaphorically, but there are a few more like fires that people are going to need to put out before we can collectively deal with the environment on a grander scale that effectively resolve some of the challenges we're seeing. So, yeah, yeah. Not the answer I want to give you, but it is what I'm seeing so far. Um, okay, Pink Skies has joined the list. Um, cool. Kylie, I just resent, hun. Look for, put in quotes in your search bar, Kylie, exclusive holiday, and then you'll see it. It'll come up. And then just make sure you save my email address to your safe list. Okay, Pink Skies. Uranus has messed me up for the last 7 years. Shame on you, Uranus. Stop being a pain there. Yeah, Uranus going into. I did see Pink Skies. Let's do it. Let's do it. Share your chart information with me and I'll set it up as well as your question. Um, Pink Skies. Let's get into it. So yeah, SOP with Camel, that's kind of what I'm seeing here is that there's something settled down, but not the corrective change that we know we need. And that's going to be a little bit longer, but some incremental changes while Pluto is starting out inside of Aquarius, we're definitely going to see that. Hmm. You would say it's Mars. That's a cute one, Kylie. I love that one. That is, you had me cracking up yesterday. You should have seen the way I was laughing at my phone. I love that. Okay. Um, and if any of you guys want to, um, I know she's fun. Hope she did that all day yesterday on the lives for the lunar update. She made rhymes like that. So whenever you're ready, Pink Skies, I would love to read for you. So yeah, um, interesting times, right, guys? Very interesting times. 11/11/81, Anderson, Indiana. We have another Indiana person in the chat. Two 15 p.m. Okay, here we go. Pink Skies wants to know, just wanting to take a peek at love. Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh, you're like the third Virgo seventh house person, Pisces rising, I have read for today, between my private clients and people who are here. The third or fourth one. It's like the Pisces rising people are like, I feel it in the water. There's something in the water. So if we are looking for love for you, we are going to double check the governor of your seventh house and just see what's happening here. And for you, that's Mercury, ancient governor, the moon. Your natal Mercury sits at the third degree of Scorpio and is receiving an activation from Pluto by square, from Saturn and Neptune by trine. And what this is doing, especially with the South Node moving through the seventh house of commitment and partnership, is it's flushing out a lot of your patterns, old partners, consciousness level when it comes to relationship and setting you up for a new identity and love. Saturn and Neptune, in particular, are working really hard to set you up with a new identity and a new story in love. In particular, when it comes to, I just said that Mercury, 3 degrees, Scorpio, sex and sexuality, and the way you connect with people intimately. These two are, well, maybe not so much that, but just your identity as a person, as a human being. These two are trying to help you get into your essential self. It's Pluto that's trying to help you dig out the closets when it comes to sex and sexuality and the subconscious mind. If there were any patterns of abuse, Pink Skies, growing up, where somebody either used your body against you, took advantage of your sexuality, or has done this in your adult life where you've experienced abuse, this is a season where the healing for that is going to start to come online through some really hard won, deeper looks at your at what happened and how it's impacted you. When it comes to love itself, like partnership, I see you're being set up with some options. I like to call them morale boosters in the house of dating, flirtation, and romance here with Jupiter in your fifth house. All of this is going to continue to simmer and come into a boil in the next year, year and a half, as Jupiter makes his way through the sixth house and then ultimately the seventh house. This is supporting you to be able to come into a relationship where, first of all, the old patterns no longer govern you. The patterning that you may have gotten around safety and physical intimacy and connection or non safety, this is going to have to go. Some of the things that you're releasing have a lot to do with feeling powerless when it comes to standing in your own energy, in intimacy, emotional and physical, with another person. Where you have felt like you can't fully express the deeper truths about yourself, you are going to start to feel like I have to, and it's time. And what that's going to do is really open up the possibility for real, true, and authentic connection with a partner who's capable of meeting you and holding you where you are. Saturn and Neptune in connection, in rolling through your first house, is they're working overtime to strip away any of the guardedness, any of the old identity that was create had maybe a little bit of separation from self within it. And now that you are coming into a season of really owning who you are, this is just going to make you more magnetic to the right partners. And as Jupiter continues his role into Leo mid-year, what I think you're going to find is the potential of love starting to really show itself more deeply if you're with someone now, and more abundantly if you're looking for options. With Jupiter trine your natal Juno in present time, if you are like literally looking right now, like the chances of you bumping into someone at a holiday family gathering or in travels is very, very high. So I love to see that for you, Pink Skies. It would just take you being really open in a way that Saturn and Neptune just now direct in your first house. I don't know if you're really that open or that focused on it. South Node still cleaning out your seventh house. My suspicion here is that being open to love, it's like you want to be open, but at the same time, there is this experience of like, ooh, I'm so bored with the option. So you're going to have to rally just a little bit when it comes to love, Pink Skies, and really either take that risk to go deeper with a current partner or get yourself into a place where you're willing to put yourself out there more when it comes to finding a partner. But I do see you're on track for love coming into your life and landing 2026, 2027, 2028. These are key years for love for you. So I really want to encourage you to stay encouraged, but also to continue the process of release that's going on here. Release of the past, past pain, past patterns. And yes, Julia, you can still join and get into a place where you're feeling like, okay, I'm going to be unapologetically myself and deeply trust that the people who are right for me are going to come for me. You're going to have to let me blah, 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 blah. You're going to have to let me know how that resonates for you, Pink Skies. It looks really good, but it looks like a lot of healing right now. Um, and you can heal with another person. Your chart's definitely indicating that. It's just going to take some effort to open up. So if you're willing to do that, absolutely. There's a lot of love here for you in present time and throughout 2026 if you're open to doing that. Pink Skies just read for her. I'm going to do some channeled messages for her. Pink Skies, if you want to hone me in on something more specific to look at, I will look at that psychically. Um, Once you let me know how that resonates, and if you're dealing with somebody specific, you want me to look at that, or you just want me to look at your energy here. Um, Janae's on the list. Thank you so much. I'm going to Winky Wonky Honky Tonky Donkey. You are the one I'm going to read for next. And then after that, if our lovely, who was it? Julia wants to jump on the list, then I will read for Julia after I read for Janaea. Let me know, pink skies. Yes, been single for years, starting to think that's just how it will always be. No, no, but I do see a massive cleanup going on in your chart around old pain that resulted in patterns that keep you at arm's length from people. And I see Pluto and the South Node are working hard to get that out of your system so that you can be open. Okay. So let me just take a look at your energetic body here, pink skies. Yeah, I'm seeing in order to move through life, there has been a lot of usage of your masculine energy, and it's very illuminated here. And it's not uncommon. We all have had to move with, yeah, that's a problem with the Virgo seventh house, getting the ick really fast. That's coming out of you right now. Um, but yeah, it's a pattern that keeps you from being connected. And so, what I'm watching you do with some of this healing these planets are helping you with is starting to investigate, why am I letting old pain calcify into patterns that keep me protected to a degree where I'm alone, right? And so I'm seeing you start the process of investigating just internally, like what will allow me to just try a little bit. So I'm seeing you give yourself that option in 2026 to just try a little bit. And it's like a very gentle going slow with yourself. Not forcing yourself, not pushing yourself, really honoring yourself in the process of putting yourself out there. So it's really good stuff. I love this for you. It's a really beautiful energy that I'm seeing here. And the more you're really able to give yourself permission to experiment, make it play. Don't look for reasons to get the ick, but instead look for what's likable about a person. Because I think your first step with South Node through your seventh house is to start remembering what's likable about being with people. And that's where I really see love starting to blossom for you, is just starting to feel good while being connected to people in the third dimension. I'm seeing there's a lot of time alone here in your energy. So, learning how to enjoy the company of other human beings in person is a big deal. And that's going to be some of the work of 2026 to set you up for love. Miss Janaea, my love, what's your question and your birth details? And as soon as I'm done with Janaea, Julia, it would be your turn. If you want to jump on the list, Julia, I will read for you as soon as I'm done with Janaea. Go ahead, Winky Wonky Honky Tonky Donkey. I would love to know your birth details. Janae, Janae, Janae. Okay, let's see what the information says here. Um, okay, so Homestead, Florida. 319, 1991, 1:40 a.m. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Kylie, I'm so glad you said that. I'm super grateful people are here. It's just nice to connect. Um, it's really nice to see, just hear what people are doing, what their questions are, and really see people growing. So, really appreciate it. So, yeah. Thank you again for letting me read for you all. Let's see, let's zoom in on this question for Winky Wonky Honky Tonky Donkey. Okay, so here we go. What's going on with my connection this weekend with this new moon? That is a good question. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Julia is now on the list as well. What is going on? Let's see. 12, 19. Here's the full moon right here in your 12th house, and there's Mars, and there's Juno, and there's Venus, all conjunct right there. First of all, your psychic intuition and your psychic hits, they're going to be off the chain. So I should really be asking you what's going on with your connection this weekend. All of this is opposite your natal Mars. Mars is the governor of home. Um, they're also a little bit trine Venus and the moon here, and moon is the governor of your seventh house of commitment and partnership. You may feel intuitively guided to be in a certain place at a certain time. I don't know if you and your person live together or if you're going to go on a date or if there's like minimal communication, but I'm seeing this energy is trying to utilize your intuition and dream space to help you position yourself for some in person activities. Now, even if you guys are long distance, what this could result in is like a Zoom or like a FaceTime together. But this is really trying to open up for you this spaciousness of you guys connecting psychically, connecting in the 5D, and that leading to a third dimensional connection. Um, I like this for you, if I'm being honest with you. The only challenge I see in this space here is you doubting you because Chiron and Eris are a little too close for my comfort to your natal Venus. They've been there for a while. I see that creating an energy of a little bit of self doubt about the way people see you, a little bit of discouragement about your value to other people. And so I see with these energies unfolding in this way, this weekend it's going to be really easy to ignore your own intuition. I'm going to encourage you not to do that. Whatever your intuition is encouraging you to do when it comes to reaching out, when it comes to showing up, when it comes to meeting up, I'm going to encourage you to take a risk. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not promising it's going to go exactly the way you want it to go. What I'm seeing instead here is that something in the risk taking opens up the connection to go deeper. Your person is also under the influence of Chiron and Eris and Aries, also under the influence of Saturn and Neptune, square this new moon. They're both sitting on top of your sun. This can also create a sense of restriction and a little bit of delulu. if I'm being frank. Neptune just, a lot of people don't like Pluto. Some people think Mars is the god of war. Other people hate Saturn because of their Saturn return and the way that it went. The bane of my existence is Neptune because all Neptune wants to do is create the Delulu. It it's a very ungrounded energy that can show up in your awareness, and in your case, because it's sitting on top of your sun, this is an ungrounded energy about you. And it's like, no, baby, you're not as bad as you think you are. You're actually awesome. But I need you to stand on business with that so that the world can see it too. So I see you going through a period of time of feeling really pulled in connection. And it's not even coming from a place of ego. It's coming from a place of spirit saying, hey, we're trying to help you be in the right place at the right time, send that text at the right moment, open up in the right way so that this can go deeper. But what you're contending with, I'm seeing, is some self esteem and insecurity issues. So I'm going to encourage you to act on the intuition and not the self esteem stuff, but pay attention to the self esteem stuff as it comes up. Because when this stuff comes up, it's actually a message about the parts of your ego that are ready to evolve. That you're ready, the stories you're ready to release that are just no longer really you anymore. And so I see you coming into this weekend, specifically with this new moon, this energy of probably dreams being off the chain. This stuff is taking place in my seventh house as well. And I already had some wild dreams. I was like, who let you in here? You were not permitted in the dream space, person. I gave him a few options. One, most amazing, exciting, and oh wait, that's not who I'm reading for. Sorry. So winky wonky honky tonky donkey, you need to pay attention to your dreams because they're trying to prompt you intuitively, in your case, to really take some actions that help you confront self-esteem issues that are kind of a delusion. Um, get that courage back. Get your self value, self esteem, self worth up. Change your consciousness around you, especially if you have been in any level of consciousness concerning you that is like limiting, asking you to play small, play the waiting game with this person. Your energy with this Sag new moon is asking you to stand on business that Janae's the shit, and anyone who doesn't see that doesn't need to fuck with her. Needs to step out of the way for somebody who does see it. Okay? So I like this new moon for you. It's going to be very activating in a really positive way, but you may bump into a little bit of self-esteem stuff in the process, and that's actually a good thing. It's a good thing to be able to see it, to see where your knees tremble and your voice shakes and quakes so that you can get beyond that through some exposure therapy around letting love in. Okay. So, Janae, that's what I see. That's what I'm seeing in the love space for you. Now, let me look psychically here. Let me just tune into your energy. Ooh, girl. If somebody hasn't appeared in your dreams yet in sexy time, they will. I'm seeing some very like lusty dreams here for you. Some lusty thoughts. Let me see if they're just yours. Mm-mm, it's mutual. Go ahead and reach out, Janae, and then DM me, email me. Because whatever it is you're thinking about, I'm seeing there's some mutuality here. Now, I don't know the whole specifics of your circumstance, if there's complications there, like maybe y'all shouldn't be having adult time together, but I'm seeing for you, um yeah, if you want it, you could get it, girl. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, moving on. It's a really lovely, very mutual energy. So enjoy that this weekend. I hope you have a really fun holiday weekend. And of course, if somebody put up boundaries and said, please don't contact me or this or that, you want to honor that. You want to respect that. Of course, we all get that. But, where that's not the case and you've just been being down on yourself, Sag New Moon is saying, knock it off. Okay. Julia, my love, it is your turn. I would love to read for you. You are next. You are next, Julia. Let me read for you. Okay. Ooh, that is not what we meant to do. Here you go. Julia, Mexico City, Mexico. You are the second person I read for today from Mexico City. Five a.m. All the changes happening at work. That's a really good question. All right, let's see what's going on here. Right, chaos. Woo. Okay, so my guidance team is showing me the old sort of Facebook check-in that people could add to their profile after a natural disaster or some sort of, disaster that said like marked safe. And what I saw was like your name with that little check mark by it that said marked safe from X, Y, or Z. So whatever's going on at work, Julia, it's around you, but it's not directed at you. That's thing number one I want you to know. This is actually going to serve you longer term. We've got Jupiter semi-sextile, the governor of your midheaven. Um, and then preparing to semi-sextile the governor of your 11th house. Just double check your house of service, which is Saturn. I mean, I see why you are concerned based on all I'm looking at here. There are some concerning influences here. But I don't see this being a problem for you. I see there's changes here. I see your role is likely going to change, your responsibilities are going to change, and you may feel almost like you get a demotion, is what I'm seeing, but it's not that. That company is bloated and they need to let some air out of the pig. And so there are some layoffs. I see some people changing roles. I see that what's happening here is their budget isn't matching their revenue. And so as a result, they're going to try to keep the people they can keep. You're one of the people they want to keep, but they can't pay everybody what they would like to at present time. And so you may find, Julia, that it may feel like things stall, followed by a lack of communication and clarity, followed by a Julia, this is what we can offer you. I do see it being disappointing to you, but I also see it's the best that they can do. You're going to think of it like a demotion. It will not be that. It's actually going to be them like almost pleading, like, Julia, please don't leave. We really need you. Like, here's who we don't want to leave. So let's offer them whatever we can with the money we have. And you're one of those people. I see you being in a place where you're gonna be like, man, fuck this noise. I know I can get paid more than this. I see you being out. Um, I see you being like the nervous system chaos, the chaos with upper management, the lack of clear communication, feeling like I'm not getting paid what I'm worth, feeling like there's a mismatch between what I can do and how far I've come and what you can offer me. I see you making moves to get out because I see you being like, I don't need this in my life, this nervous system dysregulation that the lack of clarity is causing. One of the things that's happening at the organization, and this is like all like the specifics on this is all channeled based on Uranus coming into Gemini for the top of your chart. What I'm seeing here for you is in that Uranus in communication with some stuff going on in Saturn, with Saturn and Neptune from the eighth. What's happening here, Julia, is there's been a mismanagement of budget items based on a not reading industry indicators very well by management for a long time. The combination of economic change, tariffs, the change in the financial landscape for the company, Julia, they've been ignoring changes that have, if had they been paying attention, they could have made these changes gradually. They weren't paying attention. Now things are all, it's like a bit of a scramble. And it's, and again, the communication is not what it needs to be to create assurance and compassion for the way this is impacting people. And so as a result of this, you have coworkers doing the absolute most out of fear, people quitting, people getting fired, and then no real communication. The dysfunction is high, but it settles because what's happening is this organization itself is coming into right relationship with its actual financial situation. What they have been running on and projecting and telling you guys isn't a match for the financial reality of the organization. And I'm seeing some higher ups have come into clarity about this. I don't know if it's a board or a CFO or some like external entity. I'm seeing there's people supervising the company itself going, no, slash this, cut that. You cannot spend this kind of money. And it's causing the leadership of the, it's calling the leadership of the company out for actually like fiscal mismanagement. And this mismanagement is causing some problems because with the interpersonal relationships, because it's just like when you don't run a structured financial program at a company, the result is you shock people when you have to make sudden moves in order to correct things. And that's what I'm seeing happening here. So I see you being like, you know what? The lack of financial maturity with the higher ups cannot be my problem. I'm looking for a new job. I'm out. And I do see you're going to be able to find one, Julia. Um, Not only are you going to be able to find one, but I think it's going to allow you to preserve the pay you have now. And then from here, create more income because you're going to move to a better run company. It's going to be faster pace. It's going to be more stressful. The people there are not going to be your friends. They're going to be there to do their work, and you're going to have to move very quickly to do your work there too. All of this looks like it's a Q2 happening for you. Q1 is just starting the process of making moves, girl. It's time. Your inclination that I got to get out of here is right. This is all channeled for you, not from the chart. But you are going to need to make moves like literally as soon as we hit the first few days of the new year. Because you're right, this isn't right for you. They're going to try to keep you, but it's just not going to be aligned for you. Okay, Julia? That's what I have, hon. Please let me know how that resonates because it looks wow. It looks like the Wild West over there. It looks a little like the Wild West, but you land on your feet. Um, yeah, they like the way you serve. Pluto in the sixth house. They like the way you serve. They like the way that you operate. They see you as somebody they can trust to move through this transition with them. But I see you being like, you may trust me, but I don't trust you. So I'm out. Um, yeah. Even your boss is not moving through this with the like strength that you are. So I see you this being a kind of thing where it's like it's time to go. Like you're moving through this with more maturity than your boss is, and I see that making you actually feel uncertain and insecure. It's yeah, it's time. It's time to go. Let me know how that resonates, Julia. I hope that was in alignment with some of what you're seeing because it looks like crazy town. But Julia, yes, but I think I'm the ones my boss wants to get rid of. That may be the case, but the people above your boss don't want to get rid of you. Like your boss is intimidated, that I see. But your boss is like, the people above your boss are going, the sky is falling. And so your boss is going, the sky is falling. And you're going, wait a goddamn minute. Let me get some more. Like you're responding to this more maturely than her. And so your boss has some insecurities because you're outperforming her in the arena of response to this crisis. And so, as a result of that, it's not that she wants to get rid of you because she has smoke with you, Julia. It's that she's just, I can see it in her energy. She's not handling the stress well. I'm watching her stress eat, lose her self care routines. I'm watching her think she's about to get fired and just passing the stress on to everyone who works under her or connected to her. She's not handling this well at all. You're handling this much better than she is. And this is why I see you going, you know what? I don't need this in my life. So start looking as soon as we hit the new year. I see you being fine at this company, but I also see you not wanting to stay. So, like, you're not the only one having issues with her. Her response to the circumstance, her boss is having issues with her. People lateral to her are having issues with her. Like she's authoring her own demise with the way she's responding to this. So you just need to stay cool, calm, collected, do your job. And in situations like this, like the job description is out the window. Whatever needs to get done today is all hands on deck. Just do what needs to be done, what the priorities are for this week. Doing that is what's really going to also prove to the people above your boss, we don't need the boss. We need Julia. She can handle a crisis. But I see you going, yeah, I don't want to handle a crisis. So, no, I'm out. Okay. So that's how that looks. She's just taking it out on people, Julia. I'm sorry you have to deal with this girl. I'm so sorry. Like it's a lot of change for a lot of people, but This correction was a long time coming because the company just wasn't being financially managed well at all. I mean, it was being managed well for the last chapter and season. It's not being managed well for the changes that have unfolded in the last 120 days, like since September and August. So people needed to make changes then. They weren't looking. Now they're trying to make changes to scramble for the end of the year, and this is the result. I'm so sorry you have to go through this. I know this is not the way you wanted to walk into the holidays. That's what I got for you, Julia. Um, Hang in there. This is temporary. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I am no longer happy there. Thank you. This is great advice. Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, hang in there. I do see you're going to find something Q2. You're going to start having interviews at the end of Q1. Q2, you're going to find something, and this is going to smooth itself out. But yeah, there's no need to lose your hair and be stressed about people who just don't know how to run a company when the economy changes. Okay. Okay, babies, I love y'all, but I gotta stop here because I have a meditation class that's starting in 9 minutes. So I'm going to do some quick resetting for myself so I can go into that meditation class. It was so much fun to read for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who booked a mini reading tonight. I'm going to try to do another set of mini readings before the new year in case you missed it. Because, like I said, I know my calendar is booked, 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 booked. Kylie and Hope, thank you for being here. I'm really grateful for your moderation. Please, please, please find the email from me so that we can have one on one time before the year closes or at the top of the new year. I'm really looking forward to connecting with the two of you. You've been amazing moderators. I could not have done what I have done this year without you. I appreciate your dedication on every live. It's just, man, it's such a blessing. Thank you. I'm just so grateful God sent you my way to be able to do this, to do what I do. You guys have been dedicated, you have been loyal, and I do not take that lightly. So please let me give back to you um, in a way that I can. Okay. Okay, guys, that's what I have. And yeah, we will see each other